Okay, so I was out running some errands and I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about on today's video. And one of the plans for my channel is to start sharing the gene key that's related to the energy of the earth for the week. So I wanted to come in here and talk about what is celestial weather and why do I want to talk about it. So celestial weather is like wherever the planets are at in the sky. So if you think about how the sun and the earth have a relationship, right? And it's like the earth like rotates towards the sun, away from the sun, that kind of stuff, right? So in the summer months, the northern hemisphere is more pointed towards the earth, right? And in the winter months, the southern hemisphere is more pointed towards the earth, correct? So that's the sun-earth relationship. Well, the sun can be in a gene key for the week, and the sun is 70% of the energy that we experience in our lives, right? Because that sun's just coming at you, right? At some point, I will come in and do a video on what neutrinos are and how the scientific community has proven the neutrinos. Well, the neutrinos are basically the energy that's coming from that planet. Well, those neutrinos will be based on where it's at in the sky or what our relationship is to it, where it's at in the sky, right? Because all the Earth is doing is spinning. It's not moving. The other planets, are a bit, right? Rotating away from us, towards us, that kind of stuff, or we're rotating away from them and towards them, right? I'm not an astronomer. So anything that I've said that it's not relevant, you can correct me in the comments so that I can sound a little more intelligent next time. But at first, I really thought that celestial weather was pretty woo. I was like, this just isn't my thing. But I had a relationship with the moon where I was well aware that as we, turn towards the moon, away from the moon turn towards us and away from us, like as, you've got that monthly cycle where you move through different phases of the moon. And that was really apparent to me. I mean, it affects the tides. My teenage kids would act all wild and crazy when the full moon would come in. I, myself, would have a different energy in my body when the full moon was around. And we're, what percentage of us is water? It's like a huge percentage of our bodies are water. So if it affects the tides, it's going to affect our bodies, right? Well, I started thinking, okay, if the moon affects me, why wouldn't all the other round objects out there affect me? So that's what the celestial weather is. It's like where the planets are at, the energy that they're bringing. Astrology is based a lot on the planets. Your gene key activation sequence, your Venus sequence, the Pearl sequence, all the different things that you do in gene keys is also based on date and time and stuff like that, and the location of where you were when you were born, because it is based on the placement of what the planets are doing and how that's going to affect you and what imprints that puts on you. So in the gene key language, every 6 days, the sun and the earth's energy changes as it shifts, as our relationship to the sun changes, right? For a year or more, I have been doing the energy of the sun almost every week, either in a group or just personally, so that I could understand each of the 64 gene keys, because the sun will move through all 64 gene keys every 365 days. Through the course of the 365 days, you will have seen all 64 of the gene keys. So understanding the gene keys and contemplating them every 6 days has given me a deeper relationship with gene keys that I wouldn't even normally look at. Well, I want to shift. So I want to shift to the energy of the earth every week. So the earth is how we ground and how we feel grounded. And in the activation sequence, the earth is our biggest evolution. So I was like, okay, I've gotten familiar with some of these gene keys. I understand what the energy of the week is, the biggest part of the energy of the week, because I've been doing this for a minute. So I want to shift. So I'm talking to you about the celestial weather today. So if you decide to be engaged in my year of talking about the energy of the earth every 6 days, then you'll understand why this is important and how it plays a part. So the earth is how we ground ourselves. Anybody who doesn't know what grounding is, dive deep into that. Grounding changes everything. I would explain it to you, but I would just keep using the word ground. You'd be like, what does that even mean? Ton of information out there on grounding. So go find what your body, mind, soul, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is looking for. What's going to resonate with you around grounding. And then it's also where we're going to get our biggest evolution, meaning it's something that we don't see, we do. And so to lean into the gene keys from that place, I'm super, super excited. So that's what celestial weather is and why I want to tell you guys about it, because some of my future videos are definitely going to be about what's the celestial weather for the week. It's going to be what's the energy of the earth. Now, I say even if you don't believe in like celestial weather, because sometimes that's still a little woo for practical Arlene. It's still a beautiful way to maybe look at things that are happening and have a different perspective on them. Like, because the Gene Keys is all about contemplation. And so even if you don't resonate with the woo part of like astrology and that kind of stuff, just hearing the information and applying it will give you little spiritual practices every 6 days that over the course of a year is going to really bring some changes and awareness to how you operate, how you interact, how you move through the world, why some people are doing the things they're doing, why you're doing some of the things. Because that's the other thing with this celestial weather is, as you're aware of what's going on with the planet, you can look around the planets. You can look around planet Earth and be like, oh, you're really experiencing the weather this week, huh? And stop taking them personal. Because you have an understanding about what they're actually experiencing, even if they're experiencing it on a subconscious level and they're unaware that they're experiencing it. Your awareness of them experiencing it can give you a completely different approach and help you not take what they're doing personal. So I'm excited to start sharing different stuff that way. And thanks for watching.